dear students, this is Mr. Hitesh Patel, Assistant Professor LJ Institute of Engineering and Technology. In this video series, we will discuss a subject Basic Mechanical Engineering. Today in this video session, we are going to discuss some basic concepts of properties of steam. Today we will discuss calorimeters. We know that the calorimeter is used for measuring the dryness fraction of the wet steam, and in last video session we have discussed bucket or barrel calorimeter and throttling calorimeter. Today in this video session we will discuss separating calorimeter and combine separating and throttling calorimeter. So let's start the separating calorimeter. So here you can see in this figure, the separating calorimeter consists of two chambers. The first one is inner chamber and the second one is outer chamber. Okay. Inner chamber, the top portion of the inner chamber consists of perforated trays. The perforated tray means the tray which has number of holes in it. So when the steam which comes through the main steam line passes on the perforated tray, at that time due to inertia of water droplets, the water droplets are collected inside the inner chamber, and the steam which is due to its light weight will pass through between the gap of the inner chamber and outer chamber, and all that dry steam will collected inside the barrel or bucket which is at the downside of this calorimeter, and by this way the water molecules and dry steam particles are separated and we can easily calculate the dryness fraction of the steam. Okay, first of all, this type of calorimeter is mainly used for the steam which has very high value of the wetness fraction, means the steam which has high amount of water particles present than the dry particles. This type of steam will be examined by using this type of calorimeter. Okay, so this type of calorimeter is used for the steam which has very high value of the wetness fraction. Okay. So when the steam will passes over this perforated tray, due to inertia of the droplets, the water particles are separated from the dry particles and they are collected inside the inner chamber, and remaining this steam will pass into the bucket or barrel and it condense, and the quantity of the water or mass of the water and mass of the dry will be measured from the scale. Okay. So the calculation is x is equal to ms divided by ms plus mw, where ms is equal to mass of dry steam particle and mw is mass of water particles. So which are the limitations? So the limitation of the separating calorimeter is it gives only approximate value of the dryness fraction. We are not able to get accurate result by using this calorimeter. Next is combined separating and throttling calorimeter. So this is the combination of separating as well as throttling calorimeter. As we know that the separating calorimeter is used for finding the dryness fraction of the steam which has very high value of wetness fraction, and throttling calorimeter is used for finding out the dryness fraction of the steam which has very high value of the dryness fraction. Okay, so by combining these two calorimeter we can get accurate result. So the arrangement of this calorimeter is, you can see that from the main steam line the steam sample tube is inside the separating calorimeter, and in this separating calorimeter the water particles are separated and only dry particles are allowed to enter inside the throttling calorimeter. Before entering into throttling calorimeter, there is a throttling valve is installed which is used for the throttling purpose. Okay, and before the throttling valve, a pressure gauge is installed which is used for measuring the pressure of the steam before throttling, and after throttling a manometer is used for measuring the pressure of the steam after throttling. Okay, so let's calculate how the calculation is done. So first of all, some amount of wet steam will pass inside the steam sample tube from the main pipeline, and this steam strikes in the perforated tray. By the centrifugal force and inertia of the droplets, all the water particles are separated and only water is collected inside the inner chamber, and dry particles will enter inside the throttling calorimeter. Now this stream, which contains very less amount of water particles, will enters inside the throttling calorimeter, and by passing through the throttle valve, that wet steam will be converted into superheated steam. Okay. So by this we can calculate the dryness fraction of the steam. So first of all, let's calculate the dryness fraction of the steam, which is measured inside the separating calorimeter. So let's assume that the dry particle separated by separating calorimeter is x1. So x1 is equal to ms divided by ms plus mw. Ms means mass of dry steam particles and mw means mass of water molecules separated. Now let's assume that the dry particle or dryness fraction measured with the help of throttling calorimeter is x2. We know that in throttling calorimeter, enthalpy before throttling and enthalpy after throttling remains constant, and before throttling the steam will be wet steam and after throttling the steam will be superheated steam. So the equation is HF1 plus X2 into HFG1 is equal to Hg2 plus Cps in bracket T sup minus T set. Okay. So X2 is the dryness fraction of the steam measured by throttling calorimeter. Now, how we can calculate the dryness fraction of the steam done by the separating as well as throttling calorimeter? So first of all, let us assume that X is the dryness fraction of the steam and water droplets inside the main steam line is 1 minus X, and the total mass of the steam will be Ms plus Mw. So the total wetness fraction of the steam inside the main steam line is 1 minus X Ms plus Mw. Now the water molecules separated inside the separating calorimeter. We know that the dryness fraction of the steam separated by separating calorimeter is x1. So the water droplets separated by separating calorimeter will be 1 minus x1 multiplied by the mass, that is ms plus mw, and water droplets removed by the throttling calorimeter, that is 1 minus x2 into ms plus mw. But we know that in throttling calorimeter, after throttling the steam will be superheated, so there is no water molecules present in it. So the final equation will be 1 minus x2 into ms. So the final equation will be the water droplets in the main stream line is equal to water droplets removed by the separating calorimeter plus water droplets removed by the throttling calorimeter, and we know that the final equation is 1 minus x ms plus mw is equal to 1 minus x1 ms plus mw plus 1 minus x2 into ms. Okay. Now you can see that 1 minus x ms plus mw, out of this term ms plus mw will be common, so the final equation is 1 minus x is equal to 1 minus x1 in bracket ms plus mw plus 1 minus x2 into ms divided by ms plus mw, and ms plus mw term will be cancelled. So the final equation is 1 minus x is equal to 1 minus x1 plus x1 minus x1 into x2, because we know that x1 is equal to ms divided by ms plus mw. By solving this equation, we get x is equal to x1 into x2. That means the final dryness fraction of the steam will be the multiplication of the dryness fraction of the steam of the separating calorimeter as well as dryness fraction of the steam by throttling calorimeter. So dear students, today in this video session, we have discussed separating as well as combined and separating calorimeter. In separating calorimeter, what happened? We are separating the dry particles as well as wet water molecules, and we are calculate the mass of the dry particles and mass of the water molecules and put in the simple equation, that is ms divided by ms plus mw. Okay. And in separating, combined separating and throttling calorimeter, first of all we are calculate the amount of dry particles separated by the separating calorimeter, that is x1 is equal to ms divided by ms plus mw. After then we are calculate the amount of dry particles separated by throttling calorimeter. So in separating and throttling calorimeter, we will find the dryness fraction of the steam by HF1 plus X into HFG1, X2 into HFG1 is equal to HF1 plus HFG1 plus CPS in bracket T sup minus T set. Okay, by solving this equation we will get the value of X2. Okay, so we have now the value of X1 and X2. The dry particles separated by the dry particles measured by the dryness fraction of the stream measured by the separating calorimeter and dryness fraction of the stream measured by throttling calorimeter. Now for finding the combined dryness fraction measured by the separating and throttling calorimeter, we need to calculate the total mass present or wet particle present in main streamline. As we know that the final dryness fraction of the stream will be X. So in main streamline the dryness fraction of the stream is X. So definitely the wetness fraction of the stream is 1 minus X multiplied by its mass. So the water molecules present in main streamline, that is 1 minus X into Ms plus Mw. Okay. Now we need to find out the water molecules separated by separating calorimeter, that is the dryness fraction of the wet stream separated by separating calorimeter is X1. So the water molecule separated by separating calorimeter will be 1 minus X1 into Ms plus Mw. And the water molecule separated by throttling calorimeter, that is 1 minus X2 into Ms plus Mw. But we know that after throttling the steam will be superheated steam, so there is no water molecules present in it, so Mw will be 0. So the final equation will be 1 minus X2 into Ms, and by putting this equation in, the water molecules present in the main streamline is equal to water molecule separated by separating calorimeter plus water molecule separated by throttling calorimeter. By putting in this equation we will get the final answer as X is equal to X1 into X2. So this is all about the separating calorimeter and combined separating and throttling calorimeter. In next video session, we will solve numericals of the properties of steam. Thank you for watching my video.